Breaking news, Trump tells his team to stop talks on fiscal stimulus package. He said, "I have instructed my representatives to stop negotiating until after the election, when immediately after I win, we will pass a major stimulus bill that focuses on hardworking Americans and small businesses." And the stock market is already beginning to sell off. And guys, this is why I've been very neutral on the market. Anything can cause the market to move right now, and there's no good reason to be very bullish or very bearish. We have to see how things resolve. Over the past 30 minutes, Bitcoin's price did see an immediate dump to the downside. We're currently testing below 10,600. If we go back to the 4-hour chart, we can see that we're starting to range back to the upward sloping trend line of this consolidation range. And this is not a random event. The S&P 500 just saw a dump below this falling wedge pattern. Some big players in the stock market are obviously taking some profits here, and we are seeing some rejection. And if you are informed, like we are on this channel, we know that Bitcoin is correlated to the S&P 500 about 80% of the time on the weekly chart. So what happens with the stock market moving forward is going to heavily impact the price of Bitcoin. I was actually just making a video for today. I was discussing a bunch of news articles, and I didn't really talk much about the price of Bitcoin, but now we are getting this development here, so I figured I'd discuss it before we get into the news. If you're looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart using the volume profile tool, we can see that there's really not much support or resistance in this area. We've just been in this consolidation range. If Bitcoin does break below this range to the downside, we're at least going to be hitting $9,800. If not, the low 9K range as low as 9,200 on the next major pullback. And on the contrary, for the bullish side, if we break above 11,100, we could be ranging up to 11,700, if not as high as 12,000. But right now, with the recent reversal that we just saw in the stock market, the downside is becoming a little bit more likely. And this is why on this channel, for the past many weeks, I've been discussing a potential downturn in the stock market. And recently, what I've been saying on this channel is my opinion on either direction is not very strong, right? I don't really have too much of an opinion on the way the market is about to move, because I need to see more resolution for the stock market. I need to see more resolution for the price of Bitcoin. But the truth of the matter, and the fact is, if the stock market does play out a major downturn from here on out, if the bearish divergence on the weekly chart, just like the last setup we had here in 2018, if the current bearish divergence does play out to the downside for the S&P, for the stock market, guys, it's most likely going to get pretty ugly. It's going to get pretty ugly, and there's a lot of room to move down in the stock market, right? So keep all that in mind. Things could get bearish. Again, it's possible. We'll have to see, though. Nothing is confirmed just yet, but we are starting to see some rejection here already Tuesday, the beginning of the week for the stock market. Just keep in mind that Bitcoin is correlated to the stock market. Most major peaks and major lows for the S&P 500 line up with major peaks and major lows for Bitcoin. So if there is a major downturn here moving forward, if the S&P does see a major downturn to, maybe 3,000 or 2,800 or as low as 2,500, Bitcoin could in fact hit much lower prices than you would expect, right? Bitcoin could in fact hit prices like $5,900, which was a price target I discussed the other week in my video. Now, I'm not trying to FUD too hard here. Again, I'm kind of neutral right now, but the fact is that we do have a strong correlation for the S&P and Bitcoin. And if this reversal does continue to play out, Bitcoin could see a major snap to the downside. Keep your eye on the 21-week EMA. If we fall below that, things will likely get pretty bearish. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to get really angry that I'm talking about prices like that, but again, this is in the event of a stock market downturn. Nothing is confirmed just yet. So now I want to talk about some major news that we've been seeing in the crypto space recently. Since the beginning of the month, the price action for the crypto market and Bitcoin has been pretty underwhelming. Really not much going on in terms of price. But on the other hand, the news has been firing off day after day, and there is so much news that I want to cover in this video. All of this and more in today's video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the price of Bitcoin, but more so all the news that has just hit the crypto space. Before we get into the video, I just want to mention that Cryptowatch did add the volume profile tool. This was the #1 most requested addition to the Cryptowatch platform. And by the way, guys, it's totally free to sign up with the Cryptowatch platform. You got nothing to lose. Click that link below. In my last video, we discussed the criminal charges that were being placed against the owners of BitMEX. The CFTC charged BitMEX with illegally operating a derivatives exchange. My last video has all the details. And things just got even more interesting. The FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority in the United Kingdom, has banned crypto derivatives for retail consumers. The CoinDesk article goes on to say that the UK financial regulator said that it considers these products to be ill-suited for retail consumers due to the harm they pose, asserting they cannot be reliably valued by retail consumers, and the reasons they think retailers are unable to reliably value Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP and others is the inherent nature of the underlying assets, which means they have no reliable basis for valuation, prevalence of market abuse and financial crime in the secondary market, cyber theft, extreme volatility in crypto asset price movements, inadequate understanding of crypto assets by retail consumers, and lack of legitimate investment need for retail consumers to invest in these products. So these governments are saying that there's just no value in crypto and there's no need to invest in crypto and there's too much volatility. And basically what the UK financial regulators are saying is that they don't think that the retail consumers have the capability of properly interacting with crypto derivatives. And of course, this also has a lot to do with the fact that, derivatives exchanges like BitMEX have tons of leverage that's available at the click of a button. And maybe it is true that some retail traders are extremely irresponsible about the way that they handle these trades, but that's not up to the government to decide, right? People can decide for themselves. And now moving on to the next major headline that we got yesterday. John McAfee arrested after the Department of Justice indicts crypto millionaire for tax evasion. The SEC accuses John McAfee of being paid more than $23 million worth of cryptocurrency assets for promoting a number of ICO token sales without disclosing that he was being paid to do so. So they're charging him with multiple counts of tax evasion. Now, what's really interesting and kind of funny is you guys might remember this video that John McAfee released in 2019, I believe, where he was announcing that he was running for the president of the United States. And he also discussed in this video that governments should not be able to collect income taxes.
Because when privacy coins are widely used, governments will no longer be able to collect income taxes.
So in a sense, this was all... He kind of had this coming, right? He kind of had this coming. He was publicly talking about not paying taxes and evading taxes. So this is not really much of a surprise to me. And this news is really just a little bit of spice on top of everything that's going on in terms of crypto regulation. We even have the California governor signs law bringing state new tools to regulate crypto. So states in the US are beginning to bring new things forward to regulate crypto even further. And what all of this comes down to, all this recent regulation that we're seeing, what it really all comes down to is this. The European Union is planning to incorporate crypto and blockchain technology into its main processes by 2024. So the European Union is actually making strides to implement blockchain technology into what they call their main processes by the year 2024. And before the EU actually starts implementing blockchain technology into their main processes, I'm sure they're going to be taking really strong moves towards regulation before they actually do so. In the EU document, it says by 2024, the EU should put in place a comprehensive framework enabling the uptake of distributed ledger technology and crypto assets in the financial sector. It should also address the risks associated with these technologies. And the article goes on to say that finding that almost 80% of the EU of its population transacts in paper money, the European Commission, the union's governing entity, wants to see digital payments become more common while aiming to immediate transaction times. So when you see all this news about crypto regulation. What I want you to do is start thinking in terms of this. Start thinking about how the European Union and others are beginning to come up with plans on how to implement blockchain tech into their main processes within the next 5 years. So all of this news is kind of very mixed for crypto. In one sense, this is going to legitimize crypto and the establishment is going to start using blockchain tech. But on the other hand, this also means that the core principles and the reasons that we all love blockchain tech is going to start fading away if they start to put too much regulation on the market. You know, we always discuss that crypto is a way to get away from third parties and get away from financial institutions. And if you store your crypto on hardware wallets, right, you basically are your own bank. You don't have to abide by any rules. And that's why we love the crypto industry, but things are starting to move more towards regulation for blockchain assets. So we definitely have a bit of a bumpy road ahead of us here in terms of regulation. Another major news story is that $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin from the Mt. Gox hack might spook the crypto markets. Victims of the infamous Mt. Gox hack in 2014 are set to receive a record 150,000 Bitcoin reimbursement in the coming months. And the recovered Bitcoin will soon be reimbursed. And what it seems like is that by October 15th, they have to have some kind of roadmap set in place. Now, the 150,000 Bitcoin won't necessarily trigger any sort of sell-off on October 15th, right? October 15th is just the date that they need to set something in motion. And the 150,000 Bitcoin will likely be reimbursed at a later date. But what's pretty obvious is that some people are going to be selling their Bitcoin because they're actually sitting on a lot of gains now. Many years have passed. And some people will probably end up holding their Bitcoin. But the question is, how will the Bitcoin market respond to this? You know, how many people are going to sell their Bitcoin? How many people are going to hold their Bitcoin? The answer is not really known yet. To me, the situation globally with the coronavirus, with the stimulus, you know, with everything that's going on right now, it's not totally clear for me personally, you know, what the situation is right now. So I'm kind of just neutral at this point. I want to see some real resolution for the price of Bitcoin. I want to see some more resolution in the stock market. And I'm just kind of waiting to see how things play out. Of course, long-term things are fine, but you never know what can happen short-term. And we'll see how things play out. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you found it informative, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to sign up with the Cryptowatch platform, which is my preferred platform for charting and trading. It's free to sign up. Click that link below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.